Well, the initial impressions are out and all the testers are raving about the Harley Pan America. It seems that Harley-Davidson did their homework and designed a proper adventure bike to stand with the best bikes in class. However, a good bike is not the only ingredient necessary for sales success, and while the engineers may have done their job, now it is up to the dealers to do theirs. And if you've ever been to a Harley dealership, you know that this may be the weak link in the chain. So can the dealers take this bike seriously? Can they talk the language of the potential new customers who walk in the door? And most importantly, can they learn enough about the incredible innovations of liquid cooling and engines capable of revving past 6,000 RPM to convincingly and enthusiastically sell these machines? Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, do all this stuff, follow us here, follow us there, and let's talk about the possibility of this bike actually succeeding. First, before the Harley diehards jump all over me, I do own a new Roadster which I bought because I wanted to pick up one of the very last Evo motors ever built. Time's running out for them, and in my opinion they have more character and old school charm than the Twin Cam or the Milwaukee 8. I share that bike with my wife Brooke, and despite the fact that by any measure of performance the Roadster is not a good motorcycle, we both have grown to love the bike's looks, sound, and character. So I get the attraction of a Harley. However, I'm also an adventure rider. My primary bike is a Yamaha Tenere 700, and I've owned and ridden many different brands of motorcycles, which gives me the perspective of both sides. The guy who loves bikes for their performance and lightweight, and the guy who loves bikes for how they look, sound, and how they make you feel. Now if you've ever done it, you know that entering a Harley dealership is a bit like walking into an alternate reality. One in which Honda, Yamaha, Ducati, BMW, etc. have never existed. In this alternate world, one takes their training course on a Street 500, then one buys a Sportster which will in a year be traded in for a Softail, which will in turn be traded in for a Bagger, with liberal amounts of genuine Harley-Davidson accessories added to every bike along the way. Now to be clear, I've never had a truly negative experience at a Harley dealership. I've never been ignored, talked down to, or told that I should get a real bike instead of the girl's bike I have now. Disclaimer, I don't believe that Sportsters are girls' bikes or boys' bikes, I'm just commenting on a common stereotype. The salespeople I've spoken to have always treated me with respect and seemed excited about welcoming me to the Harley family. However, I have also run into salesmen who, nice as they were, seemed blissfully unaware of the existence of other brands of motorcycle, or even worse, dismissive of them. Harley dealers don't sell other brands, and the culture in general isn't terribly accepting of them, which didn't hurt much when dealers were selling cruisers to loyal Harley customers, but that customer base is shrinking and Harley now has a bike that will bring in a different type of rider. This is the guy, and statistically it's going to be a guy, I apologize if that sounds sexist, who in his 40s or 50s has enough money to drop on a $20,000 motorcycle but doesn't want it to be a road glide. This guy has ridden many different brands throughout his life and is now trying to make up his mind between the Pan America and its excellent competitors from BMW, Ducati, and KTM. And if dealers want to sell this guy a Harley, they're going to have to speak his language and avoid some pitfalls. First, the Pan America has to be front and center in the dealership, not tucked in the back between the hats and the t-shirts. One of the problems with Harley's previous liquid-cooled bikes was that they were not given a prominent place on the sales floor and that emphasis was placed on selling traditional hogs to traditional customers. That has to change if Harley wants to take advantage of the cash cow that is the adventure market. The guy coming in to buy a Pan America does not want to get a sales spiel for the Street Glide. Nothing wrong with a Street Glide or any glide for that matter, but that customer is not there for that purpose. Second, the salesmen have to be able to talk about other bikes on the market rather than acting like Harley exists in a vacuum. The Pan America is a massive underdog going onto what is essentially BMW's turf. And having salesmen who don't know what an R1250 GS or a 1290 Super Adventure is will give customers the impression that the dealership is out of its depth as far as adventure motorcycles go. The sales staff need a crash course in adventure bikes and need to know how the Pan America stacks up to the competition. Thirdly, sales staff have to know where their bikes stand compared to other motorcycles on the market. I've been told by straight-faced salesmen that if I want something light and sporty, I should go for the Lowrider S. Light and sporty compared to what? A tank? The Pan America is the sportiest Harley ever made, and if you've never ridden any of its competitors and only other Harleys, its performance will melt your brain. However, the reality is that the bike performs about on par with other bikes in this class, and probably will be a tad slower than the Ducati and the KTM. No big deal. All-out road performance is not what riders are looking for in this segment, but salespeople have to avoid grand statements that make it obvious they've never ridden the competition's machines. I know the Pan America is going to be quick. All bikes in this class are ridiculously fast. Sell me on features that others don't have, like the lower seat height or the vast, in America at least, dealer network. The truth is that when I walk into a dealership, I want to feel like the salesman knows what he's talking about. I got that feeling when I bought our Roadster, but will the same happen with a Pan America? The Gore-Tex crowd doesn't mix well with the leather and tassels crowd. I'm the only guy I know who enjoys both sides of the coin. Every other rider I've come across likes one or the other, not both. On top of everything else, Harley faces several other hurdles. First, fairly or not, Harley culture gets a bad rep. Most Harley riders are lovely folks, but there's a small but highly visible percentage who give the rest a bad name by being elitist and closed-minded. This percentage has shrunk recently, but the damage they've done to Harley's reputation lingers. Many commenters on my channel state that they will never buy a Harley because of the way they've been treated by dealers and riders, and that's unfortunate because it could result in them missing out on a great motorcycle. Second, Harley is late to the game. BMW has a stranglehold on the 1200cc ADV segment, and Ducati and KTM are fighting over the remainder of this lucrative market. Being the new kid on the block and having to build from zero at a time when many adventure riders are moving to smaller, more off-road capable motorcycles is not ideal. Add to that the proposed European tariffs of 56% on all Harleys, check out my last video to learn more about that, and Harley may be pushing a very heavy boulder up a very steep hill with this one. Granted, Harley also enjoys many advantages. Their American market is huge and loyal, and their dealer network in North America is unsurpassed. There are many affluent customers who will consider parking a Pan America next to their Harley Cruiser or simply just buying something unique and American made. And the bike itself sounds like a quality product with a unique look and features at a relatively affordable price. Additionally, whatever you think of Harley dealers, in my experience they are very good at offering demo rides on their products. So the moment of truth approaches. If this motorcycle is to succeed, the dealerships and sales staff need to be educated about the product and the new customer walking in to look at it. They also need to be welcoming and humble, something that they have not always been great at. The glory days are over and customers are no longer lining up around the block in order to place an order on a bike they are likely to wait a year to receive. I truly hope this new model succeeds and opens the door to more possibilities, especially this one. It may sound like I've been overly critical of Harley, but like I said, I am the exact customer they're shooting for. 46 and into adventure bikes and riding off-road. Dealers would do well to follow my advice on this one. Be welcoming, stay humble, accept that you're one of many motorcycle brands, and compete on merit rather than just a name. Now you have a motorcycle capable of it. So what are your experiences with Harley dealerships? I know that a wave of negative comments will roll in, but I for one have always been treated with respect and I'm willing to give the motor company a chance. They seem to genuinely want to turn over a new leaf. Hopefully both the dealers and the customers will be willing to approach this new model launch with an open mind. And if you've had positive experiences or are interested in the Pan America, please share that in the comments as well. Exciting things are going on with the channel. Kawasaki has been very generous in providing us with some press bikes. I will be riding a Ninja 1000 SX this week, followed by a KLX 300 Supermoto and then the KLX 300 Dual Sport. I know that many viewers of the channel are interested in these bikes, and hopefully by the time I have the Dual Sport I will also have our new Honda CRF 300L Rally for comparison. And yes, when the new KLR 650 hits these shores I will do my best to procure one of those and run it against my Tenere 700. Exciting stuff, and I promise I won't just parrot the specs and the press pamphlets like so many journalists seem to be content to do. I'm gonna ride the stuffings out of these bikes. Stay tuned, ride safe, and enjoy the spring. If you're interested in any of the gear that Brooke and I wear or use, or the camera equipment we use to film this channel, the links are below. Everything listed there was bought with our own money and we are not sponsored by any company. However, the links below are affiliate links and the channel is paid a small amount for referring you to shop at no additional cost to you. We do not recommend any products that we are not satisfied with ourselves, but we do strongly urge you to do your research and select the correct size for items like helmets and clothing. As always, thanks for watching, your support is greatly appreciated. Please hit that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and leave a comment below. And whatever you ride, enjoy it. Wave at other bikers no matter what they're riding, we're all part of a brotherhood and sisterhood. Keep the rubber side down, shiny side up, and may the spokes be with you.